Hi, I'm Me B and this is an insight to my career so far. I'm a female rap artist, producer, writer and singer, based in Greater Manchester, originally from Wigan. I actually started off singing and rapping at first, and then producing came into it later on. I first started performing at the age of 16, and at that time it was still all my own material. I'd only been in the studio once and I recorded 3 tracks, and actually one of them tracks actually ended up getting played on BBC Introducing at that time, which was really great. And I just remember wondering what the reception was going to be like from the crowd, the fact that they'd never heard these songs before, they'd never heard of me, and I was about to go on stage and doing stuff that I'd produced and written myself. And it was a really warm, welcoming feeling, and I knew from that gig, even though I cringe now when I look back at it, I thought it went really well. Other inspirations is just mainly life in general and people who I'm surrounded by, experiences, thoughts, and obviously like going from childhood to adolescence, and that's what I use a lot in my lyrics, and they're very reflective and basically write lyrics that people can relate to, and that's all due to experiences and life, which is one of the main inspirations for me at the moment. At the beginning of the year I released my debut mixtape called Get Me Out This Box, and basically it was reiterating my point about not staying in a certain genre and being pigeonholed. So I had like hip hop, I had dubstep, I had pop. It was just a complete mix, an eclectic mix which I purposely wanted, and to put my own stamp on it. I got some great reviews on it. Over 7 of the tracks got played on BBC Introducing in Manchester, which was incredibly supportive. It features many different people on the mixtape. It's got the likes of Gares, Aggie Dukes, Sketchman, a lot of people that are up and coming and making a lot of noise at the moment.
What's wrong with me? Yes, I'm getting to the place. They're looking at my status like they want to chase. Critical lies all glaring in my face, hating on me for my...
I've just recently released my debut single release called Outcast, which I've written and produced myself, and it's now available to download on iTunes, Amazon and various other platforms. I've also got remixes of it done. I've got a dubstep remix and an electronic remix from Epicenter and Rollers, which are available for free download now.
They're hardly judging, but they judge me. Judge who they to cast, judging on me like they know my past. If the new movements move too fast, don't teach your talk, cause I'm in my own class.
Previous performances have been with the likes of Tinchy Strider, DJ Ironic, Akala, Rhyme Asylum and local artists such as Kid British. I performed a lot at academies such as O2, Manchester Academy, Club Academy, Night and Day. I've just recently headlined the Dry Bar for my single launch, and I performed at some really great festivals, including the Beat Herder Festival recently.
It's not a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. It's not a waste of time.
How I usually go about tracks is I'll start off making the beat first at home on a software called Ableton Live, and then I'll usually just write my lyrics to that. I'll start off with a hook usually. I'll get loads of melodies in my head and see what suits that best, and then that's when I'll start writing the raps for the verses. After that, that's when I'll take it to the studio to get the new remix of it, and then it'll get mastered down in Pro Tools. When it comes to songwriting, it depends. I can get ideas at any time. I usually get a lot of ideas on trains and buses, just like kind of people watching and observing, but I usually write a lot in my bedroom and sometimes in the car, but anywhere I go I'll always have a pen and pad on me, or I'll just use my phone for when I get ideas.
First off, ask yourself, is this really what you want? People looking in your back as they stab you in the front. It's close to all the haters hitting you, they see as fun, firing shots at different angles like a 9mm gun.
I am in the studio a lot, but I do love performing. Performing's what I mainly like to do, because that's when you're getting reactions from the crowd, and I like to see how honest they are, whether they do like what I'm doing or whether maybe they're not feeling it. But I've always been fortunate to always have people really liking and enjoying what I'm doing. So I do love being in the studio as well, but I think performing is what I get a main buzz from, really. I always love interacting with the audience, and it's great to try out a new track to see what their reception is of it, because obviously when you're in the studio and you and the sound engineer are obviously going to like the track yourselves, but that's when you take it to a whole different audience and to see how they respond to it. I've collaborated with a lot of artists in the past, and I'm collaborating a lot at the moment with some new up and coming artists. It's an eclectic mix again. I'm working on some trance tracks, I'm working on some dubstep and some grime. People that I'd like to collaborate in the future would be probably people who I look up to at the moment. So I love Jessie J at the moment because I love how honest she is and the lyrics that she writes. Katie B, I'm loving her vibe at the moment, and also Devlin because I think he's a great songwriter and performer at the same time.
9 times out of 10 most cats prefer to talk about things that are never there, like guns, drugs, women, sex, this type of thing that gets me vexed. Studio gangsters, big time Charlies, nothing but kids, hooked on follies, always in clubs, always in parties, no colour additives, just like Smarty.
I've had quite a lot of radio play this year. The main station that's supporting me is BBC Introducing in Manchester. BBC Introducing in Humberside also played me as track of the week. I've had BBC Introducing in Merseyside, BBC Radio Lancashire, I've had BBC Manchester Music, Manchester Radio Online, just loads, and I recently had an interview with Rowetta from the Happy Mondays on Gadio, and it's just been really supportive, especially the local radios, and we're just looking to branch out now for next year. Other stations that have been supporting me are the likes of Rinse FM, June Radio in Southport and Spark FM in Sunderland.
You ain't seen, but my eyes are open.
Been around the world, Jamaica, I'm back. Seen so much in his eyes, fact.
2011 has gone really well. I performed earlier on in the year at Abbey Road Studios for the BBC Masterclass, which was really great and a good eye-opener, and I performed in front of BBC Six Music's Tom Robinson, and he described my performance basically as spotless, and I couldn't have got a better compliment from him from that. I've obviously performed at some great gigs, some great festivals, supported great artists, and I've just officially been made an ambassador for Future Perfect Festival 2, where I'm going to be alongside Mancunian legends like John Robb, Rain Band, and a lot more are being announced at the moment, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Many choices and decisions I have had to make. I'm prepared to sacrifice detailing my own fate.
In 2012 it's going to be all about consistency and being in people's faces, so I'm going to be bringing out videos and new music every single month. I'm going to be releasing another mixtape which will be available for free download. I'm going to be working on an EP which people will be able to buy. I've got loads of collaborations going on. I'm going to have Wigan TV who are going to be following me everywhere from like January to April. I'm also going to be working on tracks on my album and basically getting out there and gigging, obviously in Manchester as well, but a lot further afield now as well to try and get my name known a bit more. For the future I just want to carry on doing what I'm doing and just basically make a living out of music and performing at obviously the bigger festivals such as like Glastonbury and performing on big TV shows as well. You know, basically just pursuing a career that I've had from a young age.
I've always been ambitious, I've always had belief. I've had the taste of failure, this journey's bittersweet. Success I've also felt, this feeling keeps me driven, so certain I'll achieve any task.
This has been Amy B and an insight to my career so far. Make sure you follow me for 2012, I've got a lot that's going to be happening in the pipeline. You can follow me on www.myspace.com/AmyB1, www.amyb.co.uk, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, find me anywhere if you want.
You hardly judge him, but they judge.
Judge who they to cast, judging on me like they know my past. If any new movements move too fast, don't teach at all, cause I'm in my own class. Edward Scissorhands, yeah that's me. Locked away till the world can't see, but it's no sad ending, I cut free. Like it or not, you remember me. Remember me. Remember me.